So this is my interview for Health Industry Project. Here with me I have Sharon Woods, a physician assistant. First question, could you please tell me a little bit about your job as a physician assistant?
I am a physician assistant. I work at Bay State Medical Center in Springfield, Massachusetts for the Department of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation. I've been there since 1999 in the department. I've worked also for Bay State for the Department of Neurology, and also I currently work per diem for the Department of Geriatrics and Palliative Care Medicine.
Okay, next one. What first made you realize that you wanted to become a physician assistant?
Well, I've always been interested in health sciences, and actually I originally, when I was younger, actually wanted to be a veterinarian when I was younger. And when I was in college, I had trouble settling on a major because I just was interested in so many things. Finally, after changing my major 7 times, finally settled on zoology, which was really a biology major at UMass, knowing that I would ultimately go on to graduate school in some capacity. And when I was in high school, I worked at a nursing home, and so I had some experience working in patient care. And I thought about going into veterinary school, and I also thought about going into medical school. And I had heard of physician assistant as a career. I also knew that I wanted, hopefully, to have a family. And I knew that it was really challenging to be a mother and to be a physician, to kind of separate your career and your family life, and a PA seemed like a good, offered sort of the best of both worlds, sort of being able to have your career but also being able to have a bit of a personal life as well, and so that's what I ultimately settled on.
You mentioned about zoology at UMass. Could you go a little more in depth with your educational experience? If you went on to any more degrees or majors afterwards?
Yep. So I did complete my undergraduate Bachelor of Science in zoology at the University of Massachusetts at Amherst. I graduated in 1993. I took a year off after graduating from UMass to get a year of direct patient care experience, which was a requirement for the PA program. So I worked for a year as a certified nurse's aide to get that patient care experience, and I applied to the PA program at Springfield College in Springfield, Mass, and I went to their physician assistant program, and I completed that in 1996, and it was the first year that it was offering the program, so I was in the first graduating class of that program. It offered a certificate of completion. It was a 2 full calendar year program, and it just offered a certificate of completion at the time, although now it offers a master's degree. I ultimately went on and completed a master's degree in physician assistant studies. Later on, I completed that through the University of Nebraska, which was offering a program to convert my certificate into a master's degree. It required me to complete a thesis, a research project, and a thesis statement. So I completed that in 2003, I believe. 2003.
Okay. So to your work experience, could you please describe your work conditions that you deal with on a daily basis?
So right now I work full time, and as I said, I work mainly for the Department of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation, and I work, most of my time is in a hospital-based practice, and our department I do hospital consultations on, we work within the Department of Neurosciences, and so I evaluate patients who have had some sort of neurologic problem, a lot of strokes, traumatic brain injury, spinal cord injury, musculoskeletal problems, any neurologic diseases when they come to the hospital, also trauma patients, helping to formulate their rehabilitation plan, helping to decide what rehab services they might need while they're in the hospital, also deciding when they leave the hospital where is the best place for them to go, whether they're functionally able to go directly home, whether they need an additional level of care, like do they need to go to a rehab center, or do they need rehab services going home. I also deal with a lot of chronic pain management, or acute or chronic pain management. I serve on a couple of committees at the hospital. I also run a traumatic brain injury outpatient clinic that myself and two other providers, our division has recently taken over this clinic. It was previously run by the trauma department, and we have taken over this clinic in the last 2 years and expanded the clinic. I also go to a couple of local rehab centers and do consultations there. I go to one local nursing home and to another long-term care hospital locally, and I see patients there and provide consult services there. I've developed a pet therapy program at Bay State. I've worked I also just see general rehab patients in our outpatient clinic as well.
Okay. How does the job outlook for a physician assistant currently look in today's workforce?
It's excellent. The job market is expanding greatly. There's always a number of positions open at the hospital. I mean, you probably noticed just in our local area when I was in school. I graduated, it'll be 20 years ago this spring. Springfield College was the only local program, the only local PA program in this part of the state, and now we have Westfield State starting a new PA program. Is it Elms?
Elms College?
Is it Elms? There's another local program that's opening. So there's multiple local programs opening because the outlook is so good. Employers are hiring PAs and nurse practitioners. The job outlook is great. It's a financially rewarding profession. The job outlook is fantastic.
Okay. Can you personally think of any advantages or disadvantages of an individual pursuing an occupation in the health industry now or in the near future?
Well, I think by and large, the health professions have always been a relatively sound and safe choice as far as a career for anyone. When the recent economic downturn happened in the last 5 years or so, health professions were relatively spared. People that had degrees and experience in the health professions, they were, relatively safe from losing their job because people are always sick, people are always in need of health care, people are always in need of health services, and so you're never going to be out of a job if you're a nurse, if you're a PA, if you're a physician, if you're a physical therapist, if you're in those fields, so you are relatively safe. So in terms of job security, the pay is good. You know, but there are some downsides. I mean, there's issues with you know, there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of expectations that are put on you by your employer, but by and large it's very rewarding and a relatively secure profession to go into.
Okay. All right. Last question. If you could go back and redo your college experience, would you still follow a career related to the health industry?
I absolutely would. I don't really have any regrets. I think that I'm really happy that I chose what I did. I think that I not a day that goes by that I don't feel happy with the choices that I made. I always consider myself fortunate that I enjoy what I do, that I go to work, and I feel happy that I'm going to a job that I like, and that I'm confident that I made the right choice. So I don't really think I would make any changes, and I feel really fortunate to feel that way, because I know that most people don't feel that way.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you for your time.